I'd like to talk about how being data informed is a strength, but being a slave to data is a weakness. So let's look at a scenario. Imagine if you have a landing page where you're driving a bulk of your advertising investments on and you're getting a ton of traffic. It's if I was to analyze the data for the entire website, I would focus in on this page. Why? Because this is where we are bringing in our cold traffic. It makes sense to focus on this. So, this is me using being informed by data to focus, to triangulate where I want to expend my energy. Now, let's dig deeper and talk about the scenario where you are over dependent on data. So one thing that you could do is you could say, I want to see all the different ad formats. Because typically, if you're driving lots of paid traffic to a certain page, you're using different mechanisms to drive that traffic. You might have different ad sets with different creatives, with different offers. If you're using influencer marketing, then there could be one influencer who's talking about certain attributes, another influencer who's talking about a different set of attributes, all of which is driving traffic to this one principal page. Now, if I really, really wanted to understand what was happening, I would want to segment all of these different channels to understand specifically what promises being made for this group of people coming in, what promises being made for this other group of people coming in. And I want to just emphasize that that's a really, potentially a really bad idea. So, because you can go down a very dark rabbit hole, right? Because now what's happened is I've seen all the different ad sets, all of that has infected my brain. And so when I'm coming up with a concept for the landing page, I'm forced to, whether I like it or not, I'm forced to think about all of these different user types that are coming to my page, and it becomes very, very hard to construct a concept when you have all these different audience sets in your head. And this is what I mean by the dangers of being a slave to data. So I think it's a really good idea to use data to understand where you need to focus your energy and then stop at some reasonable point and then let your intuition and creativity kick in. So the way I kind of think about the landing page is I actually don't look at any of the data sets. Instead, I ask myself, what am I trying to do on this page? What is the product that I'm trying to sell? What are the attributes of this product? And as far as the buyer is concerned, I assume two things. I assume that they have a certain degree of motivation, and I assume that they have a certain degree of ability to pay for this price point. And that's good enough for me to construct a concept that will in an aggregate basis work with all of these different channels. Now, once I'm able to get a 20% improvement, then I've kind of shown the return on investment. We can then get into like, okay, of these people that are coming, all these different channels that are driving people to this landing page, which is the biggest channel? And then I can actually start personalizing the landing page for those channels if they are big enough. But I think that the smart thing to do is to just focus in on all the channels as one unit and ask yourself, I know that this person is interested. I know this person has a need. I know this person has some price sensitivity. How do I want to address that on the landing page? And I think it'll take you really far. I hope this helps.